You know that feeling, right? You have it when you're young. You think that you have everything figured out. You think that that is the guy for you. Everything is going to work itself out. Like, this is the relationship that is going to be your future. This is your future husband. It took a minute for it to hit in. This wasn't a child. This was my man. My man was short. He was short. I have nothing against short people because I am short myself. Before we start, I am going to oil my face, moisturize it, make sure it is summer ready. Yes, I got me some snail cream for my face and some snail cream for my eyes and my favorite vitamin E oil. I'm just going to apply a little bit of each. We are growing older, you know, so we have to make sure that our skins are taken care of. The next step is to prime my face. I love this primer. This is an oil control primer from City Color. It really does work, especially in the summer when I'm sweating my beep off. That's amazing. The first thing that we need is a brow gel. If you're using a pencil, that is absolutely all right. I love brow gel personally, but if you love a pencil, use a pencil. We have a brow brush, we have our concealer, and we have a spoolie. Brushing and blending. Muy importante. Okay, start off by brushing your brows. I have brushed out this much. Look at that. I don't know why, but it just felt good to do so because it was really itchy. I am going to take my brow gel, and with this really thin brow brush, look at how thin it is. I am going to apply some gel and only on the tip and brush off the extra. And then we are going to draw a line. I'm going to go to the upper part of my brow and just follow my brows the way they are. And then I'm going to fill the brows and just go like I'm stroking them. Just make it look natural. And then the front part, I'm going to go upwards. And just stroke them. And there you are. Next, we are going to brush off the extra product and make sure our brows are laid. See? There it is. But one of the most important things to me is cleaning and defining your brow. And that is going to be done with a concealer. Because I'm not going to apply any eyeshadow, I'm going to use a concealer that is close to my skin tone. This is from MAC. Just going to put a little bit on my hand, and then I'm going to take my concealer brush. This concealer brush is super old, super old. You can see it is being held by sellotape. It has lived its best life, but I am not letting it go because it is super important to me. I'm going to apply some concealer on it. And then I'm going to clean my brow and define it. And to make sure your hand doesn't move a lot, I usually place my pinky and use that to control the stroke because you do not want to put a lot of product on your face. And then we're going to bring down the product. Make sure we blend it out. So there we are. Then I'm just going to blend this out. I have a concealer brush somewhere. But I am too lazy to stand up and pick it. Then I'm going to the upper part of my brow. And I usually like to draw with my brush straight on. So try and see which way works for you, okay? And always blend out the concealer so that you don't put a lot of product. So try and start with a little bit of product on your brush. If you add a lot of product, you're going to look cakey. And look at that. We have a brow. Then blend out. Always tap in the product. Do not smudge it. Do not smear it. Tap it in. And now we're going to go to the second brow and do the same. And then I will tell you a story. I will tell you a story. So after my marriage, I decided to go back into the dating scene. You know, I was single. I was looking fabulous. And I wanted to chop life, you know. So a friend of mine introduced me to this Kenyan guy, and I was up for it because I was done with them vanillas. I wanted me a tall, dark, handsome, you know, cup of hot chocolate or coffee, dark coffee. That is what I wanted. So I got this number to this Kenyan guy. We started talking. And we vibed. We really did vibe. We had beautiful conversations. He was very intelligent. He would engage me. And that is something that intrigued me a lot because it is hard for someone to keep me completely locked on, you know. But he did. He did. He kept me locked on. We would talk for hours and hours and hours. We would laugh, you know, reminisce about home. It was beautiful. It was magic. I had found me the father to my future kids. Like seriously, I started picturing our house. I started picturing where we would build in Kenya. Life was beautiful. And this guy was saying all the right things. He was. Oh, I was smitten. I was really smitten. He was out of town for work, but the minute he was back in town, we were going to meet. He couldn't wait. Guys, I'm telling you, I had our kids' names and everything. We talked for a whole month and I felt like I connected to this man. We were becoming one soul. You know that feeling, right? You have it when you're young. You think that you have everything figured out. You think that that is the guy for you. Everything is going to work itself out. Like this is the relationship that is going to be your future. This is your future husband. That is what I was feeling, people. I was feeling it in my stomach. Back then, we had them flip phones. And if you send someone a picture, it would come in the form of an MMS. So they would send you a code, then you would log into the site, and then you get the picture. It was a whole lot of wahala just trying to get a picture of someone. But I believe that he was cute because his voice was really sexy. I guess he had a sexy voice. Like it was, oof. Oh my God. You know? Jesus. Hey, well, help me, Jehovah. We're just going to do the same thing that we did with this eye, right? Draw, define everything. So finally, he was back in town and it was D-Day. It was crunch time. It was time to meet my future husband. I went shopping. I bought me a new dress. I bought me a set of sexy negligee. And you know, you have to be prepared for everything, right? You know, my house was clean, sparkling everywhere. I cleaned the entire house. I cleaned myself. I shaved. The whole works. Everything. I was going to impress this man. I did not want to drive because we were going to have a drink. So I decided to take the bus, right? I got in the bus and I sat at the back, completely at the back. And the reason was we have these really long buses. So I figured by the time it stopped and I got out, I would have seen him. I wanted to be hit by his goodness, by his tallness, by his handsomeness, and then step out and hug him and everything. Now remember, we had been chatting for a whole month. So in that whole month, we had talked about everything. I was convinced that I knew this man, right? As the bus drove in, I started peeking and I saw all these white people. There were so many white people standing at the bus stop and no black man. Not a single black person. So I kept looking, and the bus usually slows in as it comes to a halt. And then I saw this child. This child was wearing exactly what my boyfriend was supposed to be wearing. And yes, he was my boyfriend in my head. We had already done that. We were already official in my head. I was a bit shook. It took a minute for it to hit in. This wasn't a child. This was my man. My man was short. He was short. I have nothing against short people because I am short myself. That is why it can't work. I need a man that I can at least have a face-to-face when I'm on heels. But this man, even with my legs bare, I would still look over his head. He was that short. I was not stepping out of that bus. There was no way I was stepping out of that bus. I was not going to be dating a child. I'm sorry, I was not going to be dating a child. So what I did is I just went like this. And lay down, held my breath. I did not want him to see me. I was heartbroken for a second. I even switched off my phone because I was done. We were finished. We were going our separate ways. I did feel a little bit guilty, but guys, that just, it wasn't going to happen. I'm going to apply a little bit of corrector because my eyes are usually a bit dark. Now here are the brows all done. They do look like sisters, so yay to that. Now for me, that was the worst date ever. So guys, let me know on the comment section below what was your worst date, what happened. Let's have a laugh. There was also this time this guy wanted to date me and he was really persistent. So I told him that my mom didn't like him and I could never date someone that my mom didn't like, which was true. My mom didn't like him. So he went to my mom and asked my mom if he can date me, and my mom said no. Which was yay, thank you mom. But we did go out on a date and it was in a Thai restaurant. I love me some shrimp. I filled my plate with shrimp, so did he. We got back to our table. I looked up and this guy was eating the whole shrimp. Like the whole shrimp. He was not peeling it, nothing. He was just... That was him the whole entire time. That was him. It was hilarious. The sound was awful. The things we do, the frogs we kiss, looking for our Prince Charming. I always tap my product in. Like I said, you need it to go into the pores, you need it to go everywhere. And And then I'm going to get my powder and still use the same brush. This is from Marc Jacobs. This brush is amazing. And I'm using MAC powder. This is NC45. That is my color. I do feel like my eyes need a little bit of color. Just like a little bit. Just... and then a little bit underneath. Let's blend that in. And I am done with the eyes. That's it. Even though my lashes look a mess, I look okay. And here we are. This is the final look. I am loving it. Look at the brows. Here are the brows. Here are the brows. Please do not forget to give your brows a chance. Try to get them on fleek. If you come across any difficulties, you can inbox me and I will try my best to help you. Do not forget to narrate to us your most embarrassing, like your worst dates ever. Tell us how it went. Do you still speak to that person? Do you still see that person? Give us all the tea. We are ready to drink. Okay? Please continue subscribing, liking, sharing. I will be bringing you more makeup videos. You keep requesting them. It is time for you to get them. And do not forget to live your best life. Do not forget to live, to laugh, and to love. Because, guys, life is beautiful. Be the best version of yourself. Okay? Ta-ta, and I'll see you on another video.